Hey guys, it's postboxpat. Welcome back to a new video, and today I'm going to be talking about exactly what is the Blockbuster skin and kind of breaking it down a little bit. Obviously, we only have a few days left now until the challenge is out. We've got 5 days exactly, and the Blockbuster skin will be out. So I thought, I'll bring this video out for you guys. I've only got 5 days until it. I know it's a weird video for a Saturday, but it's something I've wanted to do for a while and kind of break it down for you guys. In my last video I made about the story and stuff, I did break it down a little bit, but I didn't get into it too much. But now I want to break it down 100% and try to predict exactly what this Blockbuster skin could be. So, with only a few days left, we have the actual #7 there at the bottom, kind of like the picture thing you unlock when you complete all the challenges and find the secret challenge. Well, obviously, you can find the secret challenge from it, and that is the last one by the looks of it. So, it looks like #7 is going to be the last one for the story from what we know so far. Then after that, we'll have to see where the story goes from there. Unless we still get these like backgrounds, I don't exactly know yet. But it's going to be interesting to see exactly what this Blockbuster skin is. The hype for it has been up and down, really. There hasn't been too much hype for it. But there's been a lot of different speculation around the start and stuff. So we're going to go through all of the different speculation. And at the end, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I think it's going to be relating it to the story. So the first one I've got on screen for you guys right now. This personally, I don't think this is what it is. It kind of looks a little bit like a Spartan. It just looks a bit fake. Now, obviously, this skin isn't real. It's clearly been created in the likes of like Photoshop or something, but it looks pretty cool. And the aspect of it, I think definitely it kind of like... The situation with it is yes and no with it. It looks a little bit like the original one, but it's not 100% there, if you know what I mean. So it all depends what like Fortnite are going to do with it and stuff. I don't know exactly if this is what they want. Personally, I think this is well off and it's not something we're going to get. But let's load into a game, into replay mode, and let me go over a few different things for you guys on exactly what I think this possibly could be. So like I was saying, this Spartan type skin, yes, it looks like it a lot, and it looks very similar to the actual figure in there, but it just can't be that. There's 100 of different ideas that I have that it could be, and that, to me, is just not possible. Now, let's wind it on until I drop out the battle bus, because that is pretty key. I've got a bunch of different kind of theories relating to it. Now, yesterday or the day before, I did bring out the story video relating to Fortnite Battle Royale, which I do recommend checking out. If you haven't already checked out that story video, do make sure you do it, because that story video is pretty key and you need to know exactly what's going on with the story to understand what I'm going to go over right now. So here we can see the Fortnite map, and this is where we want to get in, because there's a bunch of different stuff on this map that I want to go over. Now, the actual story itself relates to the idea of the director going through a load of stuff. If you haven't checked out the story video, do go and check it out. And the director is kind of just... he's making a film and suddenly the government get involved and he starts using the meteors and stuff and maybe the hot drops as a currency type thing to pay for his movie and get in the way of the government. So obviously the movie has a bunch of heroes and villains in, and we know that from what we've seen. But what could this skin be? Well, as we take a little look around the map, we've got a bunch of different stuff. We've got all like the government's cars and stuff over here. But I don't want to talk too much about the government right now. I want to get straight into one of the old theories which dropped very, very early. Someone actually made a video on this ages ago, and they were completely wrong with this theory. But oh well, it got at least 1 million views plus. But this video was about Thor. Now, this is actually seen on one of the briefcases inside this house here by Risky Reels. It's also seen elsewhere on the map. I remember a guy, I think he was French actually, or someone actually discovered this, and they were like, whoa, we found this. This is the Blockbuster skin. Yes, guys, play Allier intro. But it's clearly not that case. Well, it's not the case at all. So that is not going to be the Blockbuster skin. If it is Thor, then fair enough. I personally at first thought, it can't be Thor, because that suitcase and that briefcase is seen throughout Save the World all over the place. And to be honest, it's been in the game since day one. I don't see why they're going to suddenly go, it's going to be a superhero, it's going to be Thor. But the idea of a superhero is pretty cool. I don't exactly know if a superhero is going to be the one, but it makes perfect sense relating to the government a little bit. Now, the director himself has made this lovely film, but has left it open, the film, and really hasn't 100% finished it or showed it us. So we don't exactly know what characters are in it and what characters aren't in it, and that's why I personally think the Blockbuster skin could be a hero or villain in the film that we just haven't seen. Or maybe it could be an armor piece that you can equip to a Mega or Carbide. We don't exactly know what it could be. It could be something like that related to the film. However, relating to the government and the director, this to me is the most likely theory that it's going to be. And why am I saying that? Well, the government themselves, you can see them over here with their cars driving out, the one I use in the thumbnail right here, these cars over here, and you've also got like the drive-in theatre. The government here have extracted all of the hot rocks. If you haven't already, do go and check out the story video. I know I've plugged it several times, but it is key to go and check it out because it really does explain everything. But, you know, you guys have probably already checked that out if you're still here, and, you know, this video and the idea of it makes perfect sense because these cars that are owned by the government are clearly something to do with it, and maybe this blockbuster skin could be either the director of the film or the government. Now, when I say the government, what part of the government? Well, I did make the video talking a little bit about the skins and the blockbuster skin, but how exactly does it relate to the government? Well, the government themselves have a bunch of different like soldiers and stuff, kind of like an army type thing. So maybe it could just be a man in like an armored suit, or maybe a big kind of like costume, like armor type thing, or just a big soldier in general, armored up like a superhero or a villain. And that's maybe where they got the theme from Omega and Carbide from for the film. Now again, we don't exactly know if the film is a film. Now the film itself, from what we know, feels like it's definitely going to be a film. But is there going to be a side twist to it? We have Omega's lair with this giant rocket, which to me feels just like a prop for the film. But is there something else behind this? And maybe the director is the villain after all, and the actors are the villains as well. That makes Carbide a villain, leaving the government as the heroes trying to save them out. We don't exactly know the situation that's going on, and to be honest, the story is very, very complicated. But if you ask me, the two most likely skins for it have to be the director or the government leader, or maybe like the king of Fortnite, or maybe the prime minister, or whatever you want to say, the president of Fortnite. That's who I personally think. So the skin could be like president or the president, a bit like the Reaper, so it'd be like the president, and it could potentially look like a president of America, so it could look like Donald Trump, etc, etc. Probably not likely at all, but you get the idea that what it could be. It'll just be like the president, and it'll be like some sort of skin which kind of represents that pretty well. That's what I personally think the skin's going to be. Now obviously the skin could be a hero as well. I did explain that a little bit before, because it could just carry on with the story and relate to it. We all know that all of the Omega stuff and all the storyline has led back to this position on the map. The hashtag 6 poster leads back to this position. I mentioned this in the other video the other day, and this is the position where it is ended, the film. So clearly it looks like the film has been finished, being like shot up. And what could that hashtag 7 last one be? Well, personally, I think the last blockbuster image that we'll see could be the egg hatching and the government leader around it, or maybe that final skin could be the egg as well. So the egg over here that we've got inside, or I don't really say, I think it's an egg or some sort of metal contraption, the meteor, whatever you want to say, whatever is inside Dusty Devot, we actually have something in there that could lead to the blockbuster skin. It makes perfect sense. Personally, I do think it's a big, big possibility that this could be the blockbuster skin, because in general, this has some crazy stuff around it and inside it. We look at it and think, you know, what could be inside of here? Maybe some sort of Iron Man, some sort of Spartan. We go inside it, there's just nothing in here. But, you know, you take close looks at it, it looks like some sort of like pipes keeping something alive in there, which could be similar to like the Moisty Merman, or maybe the Leviathan, or something like that. Something that's going to be pretty powerful could come out of here and take us out in Fortnite. Now that's links to the leak with the 50v50 game mode where one team controls a monster. I've talked about that in a few other videos, but yeah, that is a highly leaked topic which could potentially take over the Fortnite community. Now other than that, I don't really know what else could be inside this egg. It's got to be something to do with the government, because the government are covering this, unless the government is the director and they're working together, or he's got like a secret government or an agency behind him. We don't know. At first, I personally believe this was Omega's army, and there's a strong like sign that could be possible, but the idea of being a film and stuff wouldn't involve all of this being locked off. No cameras around here, nothing. The whole thing is vented off with helicopters and guard posts and everything. You go to other places on the map where there's cameras and stuff, there's just no government involved. There's like no blocking off. The cameras are kind of free and they're rolling. So for example, if you go over to prison and Moisty, we kind of just got the position where, you know, we've got this massive meteorite straight hitting here. Oh, well, the rendering, come on. And we've got not much really going on. We've got a few like of these things rolling up, and then we go into Moisty again. Looks like the meteorite strike has hit over the top, and we've got no kind of, you can see here we've got the camera crew and like the crew here, like this, the set crew and all sorts, and the camper van here for the actors. So this is where it looks like the acting's been taking place. There's also a bunch of other places on the map, but we kind of like drive around and look around, and that's what kind of hints towards me that it's going to be something related to the film, and it's not going to be like a hero or anything like that. Now, again, it can be possibly, obviously, because there could be a hidden character in the film, but most likely not. It's going to be something like the director of the government. Now, why are Fortnite actually making this so complicated? I have no idea why the story is getting so complicated, and they could make it a lot easier. The game is aimed at a young age range, lol. The game is actually aimed at probably, I think it's about 12 or 7 plus. I think it's actually 12 plus. I'm not 100% sure. It's quite a young age, and to be honest, making a complicated story really doesn't help out. It kind of makes it a little bit complicated for everyone, and personally, I find it pretty complicated to keep up with and kind of keep up the information. I personally look on sources like Reddit and places like that. I read around loads of different stuff and then compile a bunch of information for you guys to be able to produce these videos. It is interesting to kind of get the idea across, but you know, you look at places like this and you think, what are these? Is this the government? Well, this looks like the government are actually filling it up. Here it looks like they're kind of pouring in stuff into the crater mark here to fill it in, and this chest, or this van, should I say, and the chest inside the van looks like they're kind of carrying away the hot blocks. They're racing out here. Here we've got a car coming into the theater. Doesn't really make much sense why there's a car coming in. Maybe it's abandoned, and we've actually got cars leaving the theater right here, and they're actually heading out of here. Now, obviously, season 5 as well. Season 5 is around the corner, and no one really knows what's going to happen to the map. The map itself did see risky reels being added, but we see the map being quite full. With E3 around the corner, we can definitely expect something big, maybe even a new Fortnite map, because the Fortnite map has hit really its potential. You could possibly see something popping up in between Tilted and Salty, maybe in that middle section there around I can't see the numbers, I think it's around F6 or F7, around there, around Tilted and Salty, something in the middle there. Maybe something in between Moisty and Lucky, maybe Moisty being completely wiped off the map and replaced. Other than that, maybe that right side by the racetracks, I do enjoy it over there though. The map is really full at the moment and there isn't much space at all. Got a bit of space there between Tilted and Pleasant as well, where the factories are, kind of dead space, and top left of the map there between Anarchy and Junk isn't really too useful. Other than that, the map is extremely full. There's a bit of dead space between Fatal and Retail and Salty and Moisty in between all them, around H6 or 7, H6, 8, 7 around there, between Prison and Dusty, in that diagonal line there. You got a few different empty space there where you could pop something in, but nothing major for an entire season really. And I think what they've done with Fortnite is pretty cool, and I like the aspect of it and stuff, and it relates to skins and that, but keeping that hype up for season 5 is going to be interesting. Once this Blockbuster skin is out, that really is everything for the season 4 in general. We're not going to see anything major being added apart from maybe if the monster appears, which could link to the Blockbuster skin, but I definitely think personally if I could vote on this Blockbuster skin, it would be something related to the government. Again, either the leader of the government or the director of the film. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you are new around here, do stick around for daily Fortnite content. I do hope you have watched all the way to the end of this video, and if you had made it all the way to the end of the video, comment down below director's cut. Comment that down below and I will see. You can just put DC for short. That would be awesome to see if anyone's made it to the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and it'd be interesting to see what you guys think. Leave a comment down below what you think this Blockbuster skin is going to be. Obviously in a few weeks, or sorry to say 5 days, not even a few weeks, this Blockbuster skin is going to be everywhere. I'm going to be covering it as soon as it drops so you guys can see a picture of it. It may get leaked the day before, or say they apply an update on Tuesday, it may get leaked. So if it does get leaked, I will bring it to you guys. Hope you guys are subscribed. Stick around for daily Fortnite content. Hopefully we're going to be doing some giveaways for some other YouTubers very soon. I've been in touch with a few. That's going to be really awesome. And once again, leave a like, comment and subscribe. And this is postboxpat signing out.